Hey guys, it's Jim Chandler with Rock Your Best Vocals. Today it's like Punk Your Best Vocals. Punk your best vocals. Because I've never said that before, so that's why it didn't really want to come out. Today we're going to look at how to sing like Billie Joe Armstrong. A couple of things that you must do if you want to sound like him. I'm super excited to do this one because I found a link that has a whole bunch of isolated vocals. And you guys know I love listening to the isolated vocal tracks where you can really hear what the singer is doing. And it sounds often so different than what you hear on the album version, like with all of the music and everything, that I really like to listen to that because it gives that pure sound. Sometimes there's effect on it where, you know, you kind of have to kind of peel through that to hear what they're doing. But in this case, there's a few really good tracks on there. You can really hear what he's doing in the style of Billie Joe Armstrong and the kind of the techniques and the kind of the method that he uses to sing, which makes him quite original in his sound. So anyway, let's get to it. First, we're going to listen to Basket Case. The first thing that I really found when I was listening to all these isolated tracks was the harmonies are really cool and they're like bang on, man. They are really good. Like Billie, and I think Billie Joe does all of the harmony or most of the harmonies anyway, because you can hear his tone is quite distinct. And I'm going to post a link to the playlist for that. And I would encourage you to subscribe to that. The channel is all backing tracks. I would encourage you to subscribe to that if you like to listen to songs with other backing tracks and try to sing like different singers, or at least get the essence of their sound. But let's start off with this one, Basket Case. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do when we sing like Billie Joe is we have to hold back the air. And you can even hear when he says time, it's not even like time, because time spits out too much air. Now, he may have been doing that in the studio and they said, look, hold back on that. Sometimes that happens. Producers are like, dude, you're putting too much air. But I don't think so, because I think this is just the way Billie Joe sings. So he says, do you have the dime? Do you have the dime? Now listen to, again, real close.
Do you have the dime?
Do you have the dime? Do you have the dime? He's like saying dime instead of time. So let's listen to the rest of that. Erotic to the bone, no doubt about it. So the way you get that sound, let's just cut straight to the tip, is the kind of trick to it, is you're holding back the air. It's almost like, so let's try this. We go, I am one of those. It's kind of like you're kind of holding back the air. Just hold back if you can talk like this and hold back your air. It kind of almost sounds a little bit like David Lee Roth. If you cheat my David Lee Roth, check that out. Check that one out. If you want to sing like David Lee Roth. Back to Billie Joe, Jim. Keep on track. Do you have the dime? Do listen to me whine. So you're kind of like like if somebody punches you in the stomach. You ever been punched in the stomach? If not, you kind of go okay, so kind of punch yourself in the stomach. Not really hard. Somebody walks in, they'll be like, what are you doing? I'm trying to learn how to sing. Do you have the time? So what you want to do also is tighten that up. Do you have the time? The dime. I forgot to say dime. Do you have the dime? To listen to me whine. The other thing that he does is about nothing. He always kind of eases into the about nothing. So let's try that a few times. Up. It's almost like you're marching. Up. about nothing and everything, all I want. So it's real kind of tight in the abdomen area, like your whole abdomen area. Just kind of keep that tight. About nothing. He's got really good use of his, when I say diaphragmatical singing, but it's because that's kind of a misnomer. Anyway, go look at there. I'll post a link to that. All these links, man. I'll check these out later. But there's a diaphragmatical singing is just you breathe in with your diaphragm. That's all the diaphragm does. It sucks air into your lungs. Okay. What the diaphragmatical singing misnomer thingy is that you use your abdomen and these abductors and adductor muscles here up on your ribs to expel the air. Okay, so if you watch that video that I did on the diaphragm thing, I did a long time ago, but you could be like the 150th person to watch. You could be the 150th person to watch that if you want to really watch that. Rest in peace, Sean Connery, 90 years old, man. I can't believe he died. Sean Connery. Anyway, if you guys want to watch that and be the 150th person to watch that. I am back to Billie Joe. Sorry, Billie Joe. Anyway, so let's move on to the next track. I'm just going to go through some of my favorite tracks. And I'm kind of an old schooler, obviously. Obviously, old school. I didn't dye that gray. But I like the older stuff. But kind of get new-ish. Let's move on to... so this is Welcome to Paradise.
Dear mother, can you hear me whining? It's been 3 whole weeks since that I have left your room. This sudden fear has left me trembling.
So if you listen, the sudden fear has left me trembling. It's also the way he forms the vowels as well. The sudden fear has left me trembling. So if you just sang that like, the sudden fear has left me trembling. Totally, there's no character to that at all, especially doesn't sound like Billie Joe. The sudden fear has left me trembling. So I'm holding back. I'm compressing with my abdomen. All that whole area there. The kind of, what I call them plank muscles. If you know what a plank is, do that and you'll feel that's the way you should be pushing when you're singing. But if I was to sing that kind of like a normal, just, the sudden fear has left me trembling. You see here how it's like the sudden fear has left me trembling. And I'm even kind of I'm also trying to do a little bit of the vowels like he does, a little bit, but not trying to mimic him. The sudden fear has left me trembling. So I'm kind of over accentuating that to show you how he's. The sudden fear has left me trembling. He kind of really pushes out those. The sudden fear has left me trembling. As opposed to just singing that trembling. It's also a little bit nasally. The sudden fear has left me trembling. But not as much. Still it's like quite compressed. The sudden fear has left me. That's like over compressed. The sudden fear has left me trembling. And I'm putting like a little bit of glottal fry on the back of that, a little bit of false chord. but he's just kind of keeps it clean. The sudden fear has left me trembling. So you're not trying to push out too much. You're not holding back and compressing. The sudden fear has. That's if I'm over compressing there, if I'm over pushing and over holding back, that's what's going to sound like that. The sudden fear has left me trembling. Versus what he's just kind of holding back. The sudden fear has left me trembling. Okay, let's move on. That was fun. Okay, so this is When I Come Around. Another great track off of Dookie. Rockin' album. Dookie. Love it.
Oh, I heard you crying loud.
Okay, so that's one of the few times you'll hear like a little bit of air come. Well, I heard you cry aloud. He lets a little bit of air through there and kind of flips up into kind of a little bit of a yodel. Well, I heard you cry aloud. He usually holds back. Let's just hear that again.
Oh, I heard you crying loud.
Well, I heard you cry aloud. So he's kind of let a little bit of air through there, but usually he's holding back.
All the way across town, you've been searching for that someone, and it's me out on the prowl as you sit around feeling sorry for yourself.
Feeling sorry for yourself. For yourself, self. That sorry for yourself. It kind of helps sometimes to over accentuate it, kind of play around with it, kind of make exaggerate it and make a little bit of fun of it. I mean, that's the way you kind of get the feel for it. And it also will help you to kind of, get a little bit too far and then reel back at, no, horsey, come back. Anyway, let's move on.
Oh, well, don't get lonely now. And try your white eyes. I'm just roaming for the moment. Sleeves in my backyard since I got so uptight. You've been thinking about ditching me. No time to search the world around. 'Cause you know where I'll be found when I come around.
So you can hear those excellent harmonies that he has in there. And still the same tone for the main thing. Anyway, let's move on to another song. Okay, now let's listen to Minority because you really hear the harmonies this one. I think it's great. So I just want to play just because the harmonies are so cool. Let's play it.
I wanna be the minority. I don't need your authority. Down with the moral majority. 'Cause I wanna be the minority. I pledge allegiance to the underworld. One nation under dog, there of which I stand alone.
I pledge allegiance to the underworld. You see that really kind of held back. I pledge allegiance to the underworld. If I was to push a little bit harder, I pledge allegiance to the underworld. He's not really. I pledge allegiance to the underworld. He's not really pushing a lot of air through there. He's kind of keeping it. He's kind of keeping it sedate. It's it's kind of almost just like that speech level singing. I pledge allegiance to the underworld. He still has a really good kind of forcefully sounding, punkish kind of, upbeat tone to him, and not pushing too hard, just kind of keeping it relaxed. I pledge allegiance to the underworld. It's really good. I like it. And the harmonies, bang on, man. Listen to those amazing harmonies. Let's move on to another good song. There he is again with the dime. I hope you had the time. I hope you had the dime of your life. See, I almost caught myself saying time there. I hope you had the dime of your life. He's really quite, he's still got that good tone. He's got that good chord closure. I hope you had the time of your life. I said time again. Forgive me. Okay, let's do this last one, American Idiot. Now, there is reverb and delay. Although it has effect on it, you can still really hear kind of what he's doing there. But again, another great track. Let's listen to this.
Welcome to a new kind of tension all across the alien nation where everything.
So there again, on the beginning of that chorus, he kind of eases into that, welcome to a new kind of tension. But then the second bit, he stabs, all across the idiot nation. So he kind of does, he doesn't always, all across the, he used to kind of do that a bit more on the almost beginning of almost every line he did, but he's kind of, chosen kind of a little bit, he's a little more choosy about where he puts that there, kind of moving on in his career. But still holding the air back. Welcome to a new kind of tension all across the idiot nation. He's not going, welcome to a new kind of tension all across the idiot nation. That's me pushing out a little bit more air. You can hear it's even a bit more raspy there because my voice is raspy in that range unless I hold back the air. If I just sing naturally, my voice is raspy in that from years of damage, but I can kind of manipulate it to hold back the air. So, to make it cleaner, anyway, to get that tighter chord closure. So anyway, listen, I hope these tips helped you to learn how to sing a little bit more like Billie Joe Armstrong. And if it did, if you did like the content, please hit like and subscribe. And appreciate you guys very much that you're even watching this. Dig it, punk it, rock it, and punk it. Yeah. See you guys on the next one. Thank you.